This should probably be We Told You So, episode, 147 now? So in his latest attempt to distract away from Epstein and try to change the news cycle, Trump announced yesterday that today he's going to sign an executive order to change the Department of Defense to the Department of War, which it hasn't been since the 1940s. Because it sounds tougher, because he's a fucking child. Now this would need approval from Congress anyway, but the Republicans are not likely to challenge it. But he's trying to do everything he can to distract away from Epstein, because Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna brought that discharge petition, which a lot of Republicans said they would sign to release the Epstein files, and then once Trump issued a statement threatening them, saying it would be a hostile act toward the administration if they signed it, a lot of them backed off. But now, as of today on Friday morning, they only need 2 more people to sign it. And as many people have mentioned, we have a lot of special elections coming up, and 2 of them at the end of this month, Democrats are expected to pick up. Which means they may end up putting a pause on the whole thing until later this month, and then they get those extra 2 Democrats, and then they get that petition signed. So Trump and his sycophants are doing everything they can to try to pressure people into not signing it. Meanwhile, we're now at the part where his sycophants and the conspiracy theorists are now questioning Jeffrey Epstein's victims. How fucking disgusting have we gotten as a country where people, in their fealty to this fat orange loser, want to now question people who have had decades of trauma after being trafficked? I've even got idiots in my comments calling it a hoax. Because of course, anytime Donald Trump does anything illegal, it's magically a hoax, even though there's evidence and witnesses and testimony. But you know, Joe Biden being Jim Carrey in a mask, that's totally believable. I cannot stand the fact that people are now believing shit just entirely based on their opinion or because Trump said something, and yet anything with evidence in their face they want to fucking ignore. I would say it's like talking to a brick wall, but brick walls are smarter! But really, at the end of the day, this entire thing is not necessarily about releasing the Epstein files. Even if they get that discharge petition signed and the House is forced to vote on it and more people vote to release those files, it still would have to go to the Senate. And even if it passed the Senate, Trump would have to sign it, which he said he would veto if it ever came across his desk. And John Thune in the Senate said that if it got there, they have no intention of voting on it. Which means that this thing would be dead outside of the House, even if it passed. The whole point is to force all of the Republicans in the House to go on record saying whether or not they want those files released, because then it can be used against them, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Because if you're saying that you do not want to vote to have the information from a known criminal trafficker released to the public, then you have something to hide. Much like as I said before, the only reason the White House would release a statement saying that it is a hostile act for you to vote to have that information released, it's because you know that a criminal participant is occupying the White House. Meanwhile, as all this is going on, we still forget that Bat Boy is really the one in charge. This is what you get if a Q-tip could read Mein Kampf. He's a gangrenous thumb that somebody forgot to cut off. He's what happens when a racist appendix bursts. It's like a gallstone can wear a white hood. It's like a parallel universe where Mr. Clean joined the Hitler Youth. A guy who recently went on Fox News and claimed that Democrats were an extremist organization. Because just like Goebbels, he's much more dangerous than his boss. He's a fucking parasite, a hemorrhoid on the anus of the planet.
Yarp.
And needless to say, I don't like him.